どれにしようかな。何を置こうかな。何がいいかな。何がいいかな。どれにしようかな。何を置こうかな。
セーブします。
何を置こうかな。どれにしようかな。何を置こうかな。何を置こうかな。何がいいかな。どうしようかな。何を置こうかな。何がいいかな。何がいいかな。どうしようかな。開店です。いらっしゃいませ。いくらにしようかな。ありがとうございました。売れたよ。いらっしゃいませ。これなんかどうでしょう。いくらにしようかな。ありがとうございました。売れたよ。いらっしゃいませ。これなんかどうでしょう。いくらにしようかな。ありがとうございました。売れたよ。いらっしゃいませ。これなんかどうでしょう。いくらにしようかな。ありがとうございました。売れたよ。いらっしゃいませ。いくらにしようかな。ありがとうございました。売れたよ。こんにちは。いくらにしようかな。ありがとうございました。売れたよ。こんにちは。いくらにしようかな。ありがとうございました。売れたよ。こんにちは。いくらにしようかな。ありがとうございました。売れたよ。行ってきます。 えへへ。
どうした？
ダメだよ。
そうですね。こんにちは。
参ったな。まあそんなもんか。
え？でも
Saturated. So only the selected object is changing. You see the headlight now, it's green. The selected object is changing because the outside area is not selected. So I'm going to hit cancel because I really don't want to change the color of that headlight. I really want to change the color of the rest of the picture. I'm going to get my zoom tool and I'm going to zoom out, which means I have to press my Alt or Option key. And I want to be able to see more of the image at this time. I'm going to the select menu at the top and I'm choosing select the inverse. Now our selection looks about the same. The headlight still looks like it's selected, but if you look, you have marching ants around the outside of your image, which means you really have everything but the headlight selected. Now we'll make an adjustment to the entire image except for the headlight. We're going to go to the Adjustments panel. The Adjustments panel is over here on the right, and in the Adjustments panel we're going to choose Curves, which is the third icon. When you choose Curves, you'll see a panel pop out to the left that is your Curves Adjustment panel. And in this panel we're going to drag the control point in the upper right of the graph straight across to the left until the input value is about 204. So I'm getting this control in the upper right and I'm dragging it to about 204. Now you may have a little bit of a problem here because you may not be looking at all of the adjustment panel. You may need to pull down on the right. Oh boy, I was close. I got to 205. I can go down here at the bottom and I can actually type in 204. So when I added that curves adjustment, I changed the background portion of this image. I'll say the background, everything but the headlight. Now, if you want to look at that just a little more drastically, you could go ahead and drag this all the way to, let's say, here. And you see how drastically that changes everything but the headlight. Even deepen it more, all we have is a headlight visible. So change your input value back to about 204. And again, you'll take the top back up to 255. And this would be 204. So the output is 255 and the input is 204. You'll notice in the Layers panel, we have a background layer to start with. Every new Photoshop image has a background layer. And on top of that background layer, you have a Curves Adjustment layer. The great thing about an adjustment layer is it has a visibility icon, a little eye to the left of the layer. And if you turn off that icon, your image will change. So you see here is the image without that adjustment. And when we click it again, here's the image with the adjustment. And now we're going to go ahead and save our file. You could just press Control S, or you could say File, Save, and it will ask you most every time that you save if you'd like to maximize compatibility, and you'll always say OK, because it's a good thing that makes this compatible with previous versions of Photoshop. So we're just going to say OK. Now we're going to close this file by just clicking the little X in the upper left-hand corner. And that concludes the first part of this lesson. Lesson 1, Part 2. We're on page 22 in the textbook. We're going to work with another file, and before we do, we're going to go down to Mini Bridge at the bottom of the document window, and in Mini Bridge, we're going to click the arrow to the right of Computer and choose Favorites. Mini Bridge is sensitive to the favorites we added when we were in Adobe Bridge. So if you double click up on the Lessons folder will expand. Then you can double click up on Lesson 1. You'll see the 3 versions of the car, the end, the start, and the working file. And then you'll see 2 versions of what we'll call Pitch In, the end file and the start file. Double click up on the end file to open it in Photoshop, and you'll see that the words Monday is Beach Cleanup Day appear below Pitch In. That's what we're going to be adding. Go ahead and close the end file and then open the start file. Once you open the start file, save a copy by going to File, Save As, change the name from Start to Working, and now you'll see that the file name says 01B Working, and you'll notice the text is missing from the bottom. To add text, we have to select the Type tool. The Type tool appears in the Tool Options bar as a large T, and its shortcut is T. Now it does have the little triangle in the lower right, so there are hidden tools, but we want the horizontal Type tool. Once you've selected the horizontal Type tool, the Tool Option bar changes, and you're going to choose a font. You can choose any font you want, but the textbook used the Garamond font. Over on the size, you can drop the arrow down and choose a size. That would be 48-point size. You can use the scrubby slider to the left to increase, push right, to decrease, push left. We want a 38-point font, or you can just drag across and actually type in the size of the font. Now we're going to choose a color here that brings up what we call the color picker. And let's choose, let's say a deep blue. Another thing you can do with the color picker, if you wanted it to be the same color, you can sneak out of the color picker and sample from your image. I sampled Pitch In. We're going to click OK. Now, click right above the bench. That sets a typing cursor. And type Monday is Beach. That's a mistake, but I'm going to leave it for a moment. Clean Up Day. Now, when you see the line below your text, that means you're in text editing mode. Knowing I've made a typographical error, I'm going to go across to the error, backspace that error, correct it, and now my text is correct. It's still in editing mode, though. Say I want to change the color of this text. I drag across the text. I could come over to the swatches panel, and I could choose a red color. Now that red is difficult to see because it's currently selected. If I chose the Move tool, I could see the red text, Monday is Beach Cleanup Day. If I go back to the Type tool, I could change that text again. Don't go back to the Type tool just yet. Over here in the swatches panel, each of these swatches has a name, and if you hover over it, you'll see the name. But you can also go to the menu button. Every panel has a menu button, and you can say Small List, which will show you the color on the left and then explain the color to you on the right. When you're looking at those colors, we're going to choose Pastel, Violet, Magenta. Pastels will be closer to the bottom. Pastel, Violet, Magenta. Click upon it, and now that is the color of your text, the Pastel, Violet, Magenta. If we would go get the Hand tool, that would deselect the text. Coming off the Type tool deselects the text. And then we could also click this little icon above the color boxes. Notice using that Pastel, Violet, Magenta changed your foreground color to that color. If you click the small icon, that will take you to default colors. The shortcut for default is D. That will make your foreground color black and your background color white. If you use this little icon, that will switch those colors, and the shortcut for that is X. So practice a moment. Press D for default, X for switch. Notice my color's changing. D for default. And leave that foreground color as black. Now we're going to get the Move tool, and we're going to center Monday is Beach Cleanup Day. Either over the bench, looks like the book centered it, or underneath the text. I'm not sure I like that pastel violet magenta because I don't think it gives me very good color contrast. So I prefer to change it to another color. I want to show you another little trick. If you go to the Type tool, you don't have to drag across the text. And the reason you don't have to drag across the text is because you are on a type layer. When you create type, Photoshop creates the type on its own new layer. Because that layer is currently selected, you can use the color picker here at the top. In using the color picker, I'm going to choose something